Yo, yo. Yo, yo. So, we had the VP debates last night. How are we feeling? First of all, let me say to Senator Kamala Harris and VP Mike Pence, thank you guys for giving we the people a productive debate. I think that the flow was great. I think that the moderator was pretty decent at keeping everything uniformed. I think that she gave both candidates ample amount of time as possible and tried to stay on task without interjecting her own agenda. So, I think that overall that this was a great debate. However, as far as how each candidate handled themselves and performed, I think that Kamala showed up ready to fight. And I mean that she thought she was going to go up against a personality like Trump's. And I'm so glad that Mike Pence is not like that personality like Trump's. He is more calm, more reserved, and she was not prepared. She was prepared to come in and no, whoop whoop, I'm speaking, She was prepared to come in and do all of that and get rah-rah, and Pence let her have it. Pence let her talk. And I was so glad that he allowed her to talk, because let me tell y'all something. Y'all are getting so wrapped up in people and not policies. And what Pence did last night was allow Kamala to speak, and it was nothing to say. They have no answers. They have no plan, okay? And she, like, you could tell every time he tried to make a remark, I'm speaking. Okay? I'm speaking. Then speak, girl, speak, okay? As far as Pence is concerned, I thought that Pence did an amazing job at keeping his composure, okay? Using his time wisely. One thing about these debates that people have to realize is that it is spitfire. They're going to rattle off these questions and they want you to provide answers. They want you to provide answers in 2 minutes and then move on, and then this little 6-minute rebuttal or whatever the case may be. But it was like, look, I'm going to answer this question, and then I'm going to move on to this question, and then I'm going to bring it back around, and then I'm going to tie it all in together. But what you're going to do is you're going to allow me time to think about it, process it, and then be able to, answer you effectively, as well as debunk the bullshit. So I think he did an excellent job. I think both of them failed to answer a lot of questions, okay? I think that some were deflecting and others was time management, okay? However, there was questions that was not answered, such as how do we feel about both of the candidates' health going under the in these medical conditions. I actually, based on their age and how they're feeling and everything like that, I think that is a valid question, because I am very sick of these mature presidents. Don't get me wrong. I've said this before. Trump is strong, but he is no spring chicken. And Joe Biden is way out of his prime, okay? I think that we do need to consider the fact that our presidents are senior citizens, okay? And this virus is known to attack our seniors, weak immune systems, and adolescents. That is something that we do need to consider. Trump is fine. And I feel like he is a fighter, and I feel like he is strong. And I think that Pence sitting there tonight was evidence that if at any reason Trump needed to take a moment, or he wasn't feeling good, or needed to step away, we are in good hands, like Allstate. Now, the next question I feel like that wasn't answered was they kind of briefly said their preference about the Roe versus Wade. Kamala was like, of course, that her body, her choice. And he was very steadfast on the fact that he is pro-life. However, we still didn't get to the nitty-gritty. Okay, that's where you guys stand, but how are y'all going to make a decision that is going to be okay for the entire? What is the plan as far as Roe versus Wade? What are we going to do? That is what wasn't answered. Okay, so we need that. We need that answer. But other than that, let's get into the nitty gritty. This video is going to be pretty long, so hold on, because she got notes. Okay, they gave us dialogue, people. They gave us dialogue. Thank you. So I'm gonna try to get through this as quick as I can, because I know y'all attention span ain't that long. So when they first opened it up, they started talking about the coronavirus. Also, this was another question that was kind of very breezed over. Like, it was a lot of beating around that damn bush, okay? And Kamala was trying to drill in the point that this administration did not take this coronavirus very serious. That this administration was very secretive about what was going on. They did not let the American people know. And then when they did let the American people know, by then it was too late. And we have had 200,000 and counting deaths since then. And she backed up her point by saying that this administration doesn't have a plan, and they still do not have a plan. And how calm were you when you found out that this coronavirus had hit the USA, when your president is saying that the reason why he did not tell us about the coronavirus was to make sure that we remain calm? I think that Pence did an amazing job with the way that he answered that question. First and foremost, that is a double-edged sword with, do you tell him or do you not tell him? As a leader and as a person that has gained trust from the people that are under you and have signed up under you, I don't think that you should come to your group and expose yourself and show that, one, you are uncertain, and two, that you are discombobulated, and three, that you don't have a plan. However, well, we can't just make these decisions that's going to affect everybody and then just throw it on them and say, fall in line. We have to include them in the process. So it is a double-edged sword. Trump chose the position of, let me get as much information about this situation as possible. Let me make sure that it is as deadly as they're making it seem. Let me make sure that we are going to be able to provide things that we need to provide, and let me have a plan. Because one thing that I'm never going to let the media see me do is fail or catch me slipping, speaking as if I'm Trump. He's not going to let that happen. And if he would have brought this situation to the forefront as soon as we heard about it and told the American people, that would have caused the biggest panic, because people would have asked him, what are we going to do? What's the plan? Quick. Hello, we just found out about it when you found out about it. There is no plan. How secure, America, would you have felt if your president said, we gonna figure it out as we go. We don't have no plan, and just hit us, wash your hands, and do what you can. How would you have felt? Okay? So give the man time. You want something, well, I need to know what I'm going to do about my family. But baby, it's not just about your family. Trump is not the president of your family, okay, alone. Trump is the president of the United States as a whole. He has to make sure every single thing that he do is going to be able to accommodate, to the best of his ability, 3 billion plus individuals. That takes time. And when you don't know about a virus, you don't have any type of certainty on what it affects, how it affects, or if we have any medicine or any, like, you that takes time, boo. And then when you say you don't want a quick vaccine or quick pills, and it doesn't have time to test it on people, how are you expect that we want to answer on what we need to do within a year, but yet you also want us to make sure that we test all of this medicine to make sure that it doesn't respond negatively within a year? Baby, come on now. It takes time. But what we did do, America, is we shut down any type of air traffic immediately. And we did that even with the critics saying he is xenophobe. Pence said this. He's a xenophobe. He's racist. He's trying to exclude our Asian and Japanese community. He is a dictator. All of this stuff. Okay? Meanwhile, your president shutting down air traffic. Meanwhile, your president rushing to get a cure, rushing to get products, rushing to make sure that these hospitals are staffed and they have the equipment that they need, rushing to make sure that we get as much medicine as we can. And what type of medicine do we need? Okay? Trump is a person where he works behind the scenes and gets stuff done. He's not going to put everything out there. Any life, like was said, any life lost is a life too much. But we lost 0.00006%. And yes, we are still losing lives, but it's going down, guys. There's more people living than there are dying. But guess what? Life got to go on. What do you want to happen? Are we supposed to cuddle up in a ball? Are we supposed to just let the day roll in and let the day roll out? We got to get back to some type of routine. Granted, safely, but yes, we need to go. We need to get back. And one thing about Kamala Harris and Biden, what they have yet to answer was a question about, do you guys plan on locking back down the economy? Do you guys plan on putting us back on house arrest? What is the stimulus? You can't lock down the economy and not give us money. Y'all gave the American people $1,200, what, 6-7 months ago? And said, make it enough? But yet you don't want to get Americans to get back to work? These small businesses are suffering. What is the plan? I think she had mentioned something about, oh, well, we got contact tracing, contact tracking that we got going on. We got vaccines free for all. Okay, that's what Trump is doing. There's no plan, guys. They have no plan. They have no plan. The next question was going back to the presidents and their condition. She skipped over that. She skipped over that. And so did Pence. Pence continued to answer some of the questions that she has said about how they did not prepare for COVID and how they sheltered and worked in secret. And he used that time to answer that question. And Kamala used her time to answer that question to riddle off all the reasons why Joe Biden chose her as VP. Sis, we don't care. The question was, is Joe Biden going to die in 4 years or not? Is he healthy? Can he remember what day it is? Hello? The next question that they went into was about the vaccine, I believe. And once again, if you want to know about the medications are being made available to you. I believe at one point in time it was hydrochloroquine, and then now it is Rejuverin or Rejurin. There is also a vaccine that Trump is working on that is also coming. All of these medicines have been backed by Dr. Fauci, okay? All of these medicines and procedures that Trump is taking has been at the recommendations of Dr. Fauci. So why would Kamala then say, well, I'll take it if Dr. Fauci said it, but if Trump say it, nah, I'm good. Don't get so wrapped up in the messenger that you miss the message, okay? At the end of the day, a vaccine is coming. Stop putting the American people in a panic saying that there's nothing going to be available to them. It's no different than the flu shot. Okay? The flu shot is here for you if you need it. Now, if you was to ask me, am I going to take the vaccine? That is a hell to the no. I'm sorry. I don't take medicine across the board. I'm good. I'm good on that. I'm going to do my pink salt steams. I'm going to make sure I stay on my sea moss. I'm going to make sure I keep my pH level where it needs to be. I'm going to make sure I do my key lime detoxes. I'm going to make sure I keep my alkaline water. I'm going to make sure I stay off this gluten. I'm going to make sure I stay off these white sugars. I'm going to make sure I keep myself as healthy as I can, because that is my medicine. Now, I am all for giving the American people options, because if something goes awry and by dire needs, they need to go get this, or if they feel secure, look, I can go back to life as usual, knowing that if I get it, that I have something to work with. By all means, get it out there. But if you're trying to make this mandatory, as the memes will say, jail fitting be lit when we refuse this vaccine. You're not going to make me shoot myself with whatever crack y'all putting up in this tube. I'm good. Thank you, though. Let's get into these taxes. $4 trillion. Taxes. For what? She is talking about raising taxes on households that make over $400,000. When Pence said, "You heard that, America," as soon as she gets into office, she's raising taxes. I didn't say that. I didn't say I'm raising taxes for Americans as soon as we get in office. We are not raising taxes for Americans as soon as we get in office. If you are making under $400,000 a year, then your taxes are not going to be raised. Okay, well, guess what? You are not going to be the president over people who do not make more than $400,000. You are the president of the United States of America. You make a law that works for all, baby. You got to compromise, and you got to make something that works to the best of your ability for everyone. Okay? And my thing is, what people have to understand is that we are millennial money. $1 million is an obscene amount back in the day. Making $1 million is a reality in 2020. YouTubers are making millions of dollars. 4X people, you know how easy it is to make 400,000 in 4X? That's $1 trillion industry. You know how easy it is to make $1 million in 4X? Instagram, these people online are making bank. These people who have branched off from Instagram and have started businesses. These entertainers, B. Simone, Just Hilarious. Okay, Cardi, that's you too, boo. We make money in this millennium. We get big money, okay? Black businesses are on the rise. We like 1099s. We like being independent contractors. We like our own money, and we like getting to the bag. 400,000 is pocket change, baby. So when you talk about you taxing households over 400,000, that doesn't make me happy. And my thing is, when you think about it, okay, do you think that more people are going to pay their taxes now or nah? Tax fraud is about to be out the yin-yang. You are telling a person, the more money you make, the more money I'm going to take from you. Then do you think I'm going to tell you how much money I'm bringing in then? The more money you make, the more money I'm going to take from you. Okay, then let me find a place where I can put my money that you can't touch it. I'm going to put it into these organizations. I'm going to get these young write-offs. I'm going to deduct this loss like a boss. Yes. Because you're not about to run up no bill at my expense. Are you crazy? So yes, Kamala, as soon as y'all get in office, you're raising taxes. Also, free school. Yo, anytime you hear free, know that that means that only some people don't have to pay, but others absolutely do. What is free? Not Nathaniel. Free school, free this, free that. But you ain't raising nobody's taxes. Also, raising taxes to combat climate change. My thing is, look, I'm all about conservation. I understand that we are much bigger wasters now than we were back in the day. And we do not love our planet and respect what our planet does for us as much as we did back in the day. However, if you're going to tell me that the United States is responsible for climate change, you have got to be kidding me. Even if we all did our part and recycle, the climate is still gonna change. Even if we did our part and wasn't as wasteful, the climate is still gonna change. I'm gonna go off and give y'all a little lesson. Hold tight. This Green New Deal, which I think reusable energy falls up under, okay? I believe that they said that Kamala Harris and them are saying no fracking is going to go down and we're getting rid of fossil fuels. What she says is a complete lie. We never said we're getting rid of fracking. We never said we're getting rid of fossil fuels.
No new fracking.
We are going to get rid of fossil fuels.
Like, what about, say, stopping fracking and stopping pipe?
Would there be any place for fossil fuels, including coal and fracking, in a Biden administration?
No, we would work it out. We would make sure it's eliminated.
I guarantee you, we're going to end fossil fuel, and I am not going to cooperate.
No ability for the oil industry to continue to drill, period. Ends. Number one.
3 consecutive American presidents have enjoyed stints of explosive economic growth due to a boom in oil and natural gas production. As president, would you be willing to sacrifice some of that growth, even knowing potentially that it could displace thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of blue-collar workers in the interest of transitioning to that greener economy?
The answer is yes. The answer is yes.
Question, I'm in favor of banning fracking. So, yeah, and starting with what we can do on day one around public lands, right? And then there has to be legislation. But yes, and this is something I've taken on in California. I have a history of working on this issue. And to your point, we have to just acknowledge that the residual impact of fracking is enormous in terms of the impact on the health and safety of communities. Yeah, so thank you.
You did, baby. This reusable energy is bullshit. It is bullshit. You are putting these businesses that are using fossil fuels and coals out of business so that you can build these big solar battery towers. Let me tell y'all what they are, okay? These solar battery towers stand straight up in the air, and you connect to them, and you get your energy that way. How is it powered? How are we getting energy? Glad you asked. We are getting energy from thousands and thousands of solar panels and them little energy windmills that spin around. That's where we're gaining our energy from, okay? So when God says, let there be light, we got energy. And what it does is that it fills this tower of energy. So think of it like your phone battery. When you charge your phone, it fills your battery up. But guess what? No matter what battery you got, I don't care if it gives you a whole full day of battery, you got 2-3 extra days on, I don't care. Your battery is going to go what if you don't charge it up? You got it. It's going to go dead. So you got to charge it up. Same way with this solar thing. They are going to implement this solar tower. You're going to fill it up with all of these solar things. Okay, I'm with you. We getting somewhere. All right, go green. A. It's going to fill up. And then what? What happens at nighttime? What happens during the winter? What happens on a rainy day? Do we not get energy? What happens if an overcast happens? What happens when the battery runs dead? We now have a power outage. Can't let that happen. So what do? And there's no way to store this energy. There's no way to store this energy. So what do? We have to have a backup. And what is the backup? You got it. Fossil fuels. Burn them fuels, baby. Fire up them fuels, baby. We about to get fracking and cracking, baby. Because we can't have power outages. You're burning fossil fuels as a backup to make sure that if any time that God says, nah, still got energy. And now you're going to make all of these cars electric, all of this other stuff electric. Our whole life is going to be running on electricity now. And you're going to have the whole entire everybody connected to these solar towers. Okay? Which means now when the solar towers break, this is glass. This is glass being shattered all over the Sahara. This is glass being shattered all over the deserts. Okay? How much is it going to cost to fix these windmills when they break? And then who's going to go out there and clean up all this windmill stuff when it does? Also, you have to burn fossil fuels all day long. And I'm going to tell you why. Because guess what? It ain't a switch. When this battery runs dead and there is no more energy, guess what? You can't just say, oh, start burning a few coals. No, baby. You can't burn coals like that. It takes time to burn them coals and fill up this energy that the whole world is on. And world meaning United States, that we're all connected to. You know how much time that's going to take? You know how much time we're going to be sitting in the damn dark? They don't tell you that. And y'all don't do enough research. It's like, well, we're going to just hook up to the tower and it's ran on solar and everything's going to be great. Do you know how solar works? But yet, we're not doing no fracking. We're not burning no fossil fuels. You're putting out these fossil fuel companies that are burning fossil fuels to burn the same amount of fossil fuels, if not more, to back up a Green New Deal. The next thing that they talked about was China. One thing about Trump is that Trump trusts America. He believes in America. He is going to always put America first. He's always going to make the best decisions as far as putting America first. Okay? When it comes down to relationships, one thing about Trump is he has this ego of, we don't need you. If you don't want to play by the rules of this relationship, we don't need you. We are strong enough to maintain on our own. America will stand strong with or without you. We are bringing back more jobs to America. More things are going to say made in the USA. We don't need y'all. If you can't fall in line with what I'm talking about. Now, when she said we lost that deal, we may have. But Joe never fought it. Joe kept, like Pence said, Joe kept making deals and selling out our country. And then Kamala gets there and says, well, you have to understand, in friendships, we have to keep our words to our friends. Hello? What the hell kind of promises have y'all made China? What is it that you're not telling us? We want transparency, right? Trump is so secretive. What don't we know? What promises do we need to keep to China that we keep selling ourselves out because apparently we can't keep it? What have we done? She's talking about the jobs that we've lost because of the relationship that we have had with China. What she means about that is that businesses that have been relying on China, okay, have started to take a hit. And that is unfortunate. Like a lot of people get retail from China. A lot of people order stuff and then we resell it and things like that. We get a lot of stuff from China. We do big business with China. However, we can bring them jobs back here. We can bring them jobs back here. America strong, people. This is what we trying to get y'all to get is America strong. We can bring them jobs back here. We can open them factories back up. Build America back up to be the strongest country in this land. Is it going to take time? It might. Is it going to hurt? It might. That's what change is, baby. Growing pains. We go through things. But America strong. Roe versus Wade. Another question that we don't have answers to. What are we going to do about all of this abortion? Now, I know that this is a very sticky issue, which is why I'm sure they danced and pranced around it. However, the thing is, we have to find some type of common ground. And it is going to be hard because when you interject people's personal feelings and when you interject people's religious beliefs, it does get sticky. But at the end of the day, I do feel that a woman has a right to her body. I do believe that a woman should not be told what to do with her body. I do believe that a woman should not have to make room for a man in a female dominant environment. I believe in girl power. Okay, I got a coochie too. Like I'm here for the women, but I am not here for murder. And when one apple spoils the whole bunch, you gotta throw that shit out. And you gotta find something else. Okay? We have taken abortion from let it just be there as far as if women are raped, if women are, incest and all this other stuff. We have provided a means to take care of that. But now, abortion has become trendy. He gave me the money for the abortion. Ooh, come up. What? And now we're getting to the point where we're taking abortion to late term. What the fuck is a late term abortion? Just call it what it is. If you make a decision at the last minute that you don't want a kid, you don't have to. You don't have to. And if the child survives the abortion, we'll finish it off for you. Don't worry. We'll make sure we'll make sure it's dead. We'll make sure we kill it for you. Don't be scared. Don't be scared if you come for an abortion and we don't get it all the first time and the baby don't die. Don't worry. You don't have to be a mom. You don't have to be a dad. Don't worry. We will kill it. We promise. It's too damn much. And if we say yes to the little bit, we're also saying yes to the majority. Also, I think that we need to have the conversation on what about the man? There is no baby without the seed, the sperm. If y'all know something different, let me know. But at what point does a man lose his right to his child just because his child is housed inside the mom? Now, maybe y'all don't have males in your family, or maybe y'all don't have brothers, but I do, and I have a good brother. That's a good black man. Great, amazing father. And if he would have got his significant other pregnant, and she's just like, nah, I'm good, and go kill the baby, her body, her choice. And that's fair. And y'all, if people think that that's fair, not let me make a sacrifice, let me have the baby, and then you take the parental rights. Or let me give the baby up for adoption. No. My body, my choice. Matter of fact, I don't even mean to tell this story because it's somebody's business, but I ain't going to tell the name. That has happened. Someone I know was in a relationship, okay? They having a baby. They get in an argument, Cisco get an abortion. So much for that. And that's okay. Her body, her choice. Not that the father have to come in and sign. Not that he say that I am in agreement with this. Not. And that's not murder. Someone lost their baby recently, and they said that a person that was pro-choice had a miscarriage. And she miscarried right around the same time that she claims when she takes her pro-choice stance, that's not even a baby. It's a fetus. This is not even a baby. It's a clump of cells. But now you, right around that time, miscarry. What did you miscarry? It's not a baby. We lost our baby. No. It's not a baby now. It's not a baby now if it wasn't a baby then. I don't think that Pence gave a great answer as far as the Roe versus Wade. And I feel like I understand why. What is the answer? You really can't tell a woman to do with her body, but at the same time, you do have to protect life. What is the answer? You can't tell a woman to do with her body, but at the same time, the father should have rights. What is the answer? And in certain faiths, they do believe that that is murder. What is the answer? Coming up last was the conversation of race. And they brought up the conversation about Breonna Taylor. And do we feel that she received justice? A lot of people are angry at the response that Pence made, saying that it was disgusting, vile, and that this should show what type of America that we live in, and the value that we put on Black life, especially Black females. But once again, what is there to say? What is there to say? A 26-year-old lay dead in her hallway, riddled with bullets. Regardless if it was right or if it's wrong, is that justice? No one wants to say that it was justified. No one wants to say, okay, she got hurt, she got shot up, but it was justified. No one wants to say that, regardless if it's true or not. No one wants to say that. And when Pence said, I trust the justice system, and even you as a prosecutor should have been able to look through that file and seen that it was some discrepancies. That's a hard question to answer. Because when you look at the facts are what the facts are. Do our justice system need reform? Absolutely. Is there some laws that needs to be changed? Absolutely. Are people becoming little, maybe sacrificial lambs to make us take a second look at some of our legislation? Maybe. But when you look at, was this justified? It was justified. Does it still hurt? Of course. Is it unfortunate? Of course. But yes, it is justified. Now, if you want to now say we need to go back and reform No Knock, and we need to go back and do that, then we will. Matter of fact, we did do it with the Tim Scott bill that Kamala Harris got up and walked out and voted against. Said it wasn't sufficient. But then wrote up the same bill and added a little bit of razzle-dazzle into it and passed it. You play politics, and it's not cool. And then Kamala's rebuttal was no, it wasn't justified. And that there is a huge issue with race and discrimination in this country. and at the issue of no-not warrants and chokeholds, such as the George Floyd issue. But then again, did she say what she's going to do? And my thing is, I think that the question, the way it was asked, was completely biased and unfair. Because one, they did not bust into her household. And number two, what was the other thing they said wasn't right? About her being a current EMT. Then she went in to tie that in with saying, but this is a pattern. Even on the debate stage, our president said, stand back and stand by. And he failed to denounce white supremacy. It didn't like he didn't have the chance. And granted, I'll give her that. He could have denounced it. But let's not act like he has not denounced it thousands of times. And let's not act like Joe Biden has put black people in the highest regard. We still cannot get answers about the crime bill. We still can't get answers about why he said poor kids are just as smart as white kids. We still can't get answers about him saying the way he was able to be quarantined is because a black woman was stocking his shelves. We can't get answers about him being a part of the most corrupt administration. We can't get answers about him saying, if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. We can't get answers about him calling us super predators. But yeah, you want Trump to denounce white supremacy over and over and over and over and over and over again, while Joe Biden just slides by and utilizes, gives the damn eulogy to a Klansman. Nobody says shit. Kamala, you say that there's an issue with race in this country. Well, what are you going to do about it? How are you going to bridge the gap?
When you were DA in San Francisco, when you left office, African Americans were 19 times more likely to be prosecuted for minor drug offenses than whites and Hispanics. When you were Attorney General of California, you increased the disproportionate incarceration of blacks in California. Yeah. You did nothing on criminal justice reform in California. You didn't lift a finger to pass the First Step Back on Capitol Hill. I mean, the reality is your record speaks for itself. President Trump and I have fought for criminal justice reform.
Thank you, Vice President.
We fought for educational choice and opportunities for African Americans, all of our members.
Thank you, sir.
And we'll do it for 4
Thank you.
Senator Harris says she's proud of her record as a prosecutor and that she'll be a prosecutor president, but I'm deeply concerned about this record. There are too many examples to cite, but she put over 1,500 people in jail for marijuana violations and then laughed about it when she was asked if she ever smoked marijuana. She blocked evidence that would have freed an innocent man from death row until the courts forced her to do so. She kept people in prison beyond their sentences to use them as cheap labor for the state of California. And she fought to keep cash bail system in place. That impacts poor people in the worst kind of way. When you are in a position to make a difference and an impact in these people's lives, you did not. And worse yet, in the case of those who are on death row, innocent people, you actually blocked evidence from being revealed that would have freed them until you were forced to do so. There is no excuse for that. And the people who suffered under your reign as prosecutor, you owe them an apology.
You got some nerve trying to talk about discrimination and black disparity in this country when you have contributed to systemic racism. And I would like to know what convinced you that Joe Biden is not the same Joe Biden that you accuse of contributing to systemic racism. Your prosecuting history is shameful. If you are supposed to be about Black Lives Matter, you are a fraud. Once again, no answers. No plans. The last question, I think, came from a young person saying, why can't we all just get along? And this does not make her feel good in promising that two grown folk can't even hold a productive debate, and the world is at each other's neck about an issue that we need to come together on. What can you tell her to make her feel a little bit better and trust in the America that we know and love? And Pence did just that. He sat there, also presidential, and said, we can disagree and not disrespect. These are some tough issues. Tough issues. And there's 3 billion plus people that we all gotta work with. That's hard. But at the end of the day, no matter what we say, no matter how hard we fight, what bonds and connects us is that we are Americans. We are USA. And we are America strong. We bend, but we do not break. And we are going to come back, and we are going to be tougher than we ever have been before. Kamala Harris says, trust Joe Biden. He cares for us. We have to use our voice, and we have to continue to fight, fight, fight. I think what I would say is, piggybacking off of what Pence said, don't mistake people's passion for anger. We are dealing with very controversial subjects. We all are different. We all want different things. We all need different things, but we have to cohabitate together. Respect one another without losing yourself and what you believe in, and still what works best for you. Yes, we can disagree, but we do not have to disrespect. Yes, we can disagree, but as long as we come back and still love each other, still respect each other, we'll be fine. Now, I wish I could tell you that every day was going to be rainbows and butterflies and that this all will pass over soon and we won't have any more issues up the road, but we will. But one thing is that it's better to fight with each other about an issue than to fight against each other on an issue. America, go vote.